Yeah, that's a lot to unpack, isn't it? Okay, recording. Let me get mine going too. And then we're going to go live on YouTube. Let's see. You're going to watch me go through all of that. We love this part, right?
And that was so interesting. No, I won't say that.
And then I don't know when I'm live, and it's like we're live way before.
We are now.
We're live streaming. We're live. Okay. So here we are. It's Judy and I. We're watching for you guys. We're watching for everybody to come in. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Sorry guys, I am looking at, oh, that's going to be my chat. Oh, way before. Okay, so I think I'm just trying to figure out something new popped up for me. So I'm trying to figure that out. But I would like to share this on our social media as well. So let me see if I can figure out how to share this on social media. And you guys, is anybody here yet? Do we have anyone in the chat? You guys, you're going to keep hearing me pull up. Okay, I'm going to watch it on that one and not this one. That'll be better. And Judy, do you want me to see if I can share it on your post or on your Facebook as well?
That would be good.
Okay. We're going to post it there. And we're going to create a post here. And you guys are all watching me do my work. Whoever's showing up, we've got Ivy and Kathleen and Sarah in the house so far. You guys come on in and enjoy our chat. We're going to go live with questions and answers. Judy says we've got over 20 questions to try to tackle today, so we're gonna do our best to do that. And let's talk why I'm doing this. Talk about the weird things going on energetically. Why I get us thrown up live on all the different little platforms here. If you don't mind talking a little bit about the weirdness going on your end, then we'll play in that a little.
Yes, there's certainly seems like there's a little bit of jumping of timelines and going back to previous sort of situations. It's all very interesting. The whole concept of time is very, very strange. Some days appear to just be going incredibly fast, whereas yesterday for me, it was stretched. It was really, really stretched. So that was a weird scenario. I'm noticing different things with nighttime and overall light in the sky at a phase where there's virtually very little light. It's all very, very interesting. We're in a fascinating time. But actually something I'd just like to bring up was an idea that popped into my head about the concept of deja vu.
Oh yeah, I like that concept that you had.
Yes, it popped into my mind that the experience of deja vu is that we are on a certain timeline, and then for some reason we have to branch off and go into a different one for whatever reason, whatever experience, whatever interactions have to take place. And when that is completed, we are returned to the timeline that we left, but we're returned at a fraction of time before we left it, so that when we're back on it, we recognize that we're back on that timeline. And that was really interesting. It made a lot of sense to me. And yeah, it's sort of quite a different concept to perhaps what we may have perceived as deja vu as to looking into the future. It just changed that. It just felt right to me anyway, that's what it was. But it's just that minuscule little bit of time of prior leaving that you had that reacquaintance with that timeline, so therefore it was familiar. You had been there before.
Yeah, so, we already did this. Wait, oh, relap. Yeah, lapping over it. I love it. And the audience is saying, Ivy's saying, I feel like time's so fast that I'm almost losing time. Well, that may or may not have happened to me today, as Judy is sending me a message going, hey, are we doing the show? And I'm like in the middle of doing dishes and cleaning house and doing some things. And I was like, oh my gosh, what time is it? And I think you gave me 23-minute heads up, like, let's do the show. So, yeah, so you get what you get. Anyways, we've got Dragon Lady and Starseed Solutions, Amy A, Daniel, Kathleen. I think we already said Kathleen, and we got a few more that are watching that are not in the chat room with us. Part of that's probably because in all of that enthusiasm of cleaning the house, I didn't put a post up saying, hey, don't forget to join us live. So we may not have the audience we would have had I been keeping track of time. So, and what's really funny today is that I got this, it's like an Echo or something like that is what it's called, but it came free with a TV that I purchased, and it showed up today. And what it has a display on it that's pretty good sized display, and it displays the time. And I was playing with that today, and I still wasn't on time. Oh, here we got some more people coming in. All right, you guys, so good to see you. We've got, I'm going to do a couple announcements before we jump in, just to give a little bit more time to get everybody here. But now that we got it going on Facebook and a couple of places there, trying to think, is there anywhere else we want to share this live feed before? If you guys out there listening, if you want to share this around, that would be great. Help us get the audience built up for this. But while we're doing that, I just want to mention again that we're going to take a journey into the inner earth with Daniel on November 1st, 4 p.m. for that. I got all these different, we got a time thing, because normally we're doing 3 o'clock, and that one I was like, do I do it at 3? And I kept hearing 4 because it's during the week. So I don't know if that's why my message kept coming in to do it at 4 o'clock. I don't know, but sorry to anyone that messaged you all up. So 4 o'clock, I'm going to do we're going to journey into the inner earth with Daniel and possibly get messages from the collectives in the inner earth and get some wisdom from them on what's happening with the planet from their perspective. So that's going to be really cool. That's going to be November 1st. Yep. And that's going to be 4 p.m. Pacific time. The link for that, not right now because I'm live, but I will get that down below in the description box for you guys. And then, of course, Journey to Jupiter, that's going to be in Jupiter, Florida, December 9th, 10th, and 11th, where I'm pairing up with Leah Ray, with Erica Middlemiss, and with Sarah Cosme, and we're going to be doing a workshop where we're going to go into Akashic Records, we're going to go into channeling, light language, hypnosis, into meeting other versions of yourself that are coexisting on other planets, all kinds of fun things. If you want to be in person, we have a few spots left for that. And then yesterday we launched a Zoom version of that course. So if you want to join us live through Zoom, that is now available. And let me tell you, that was something. We go, hey, let's do a workshop, and everything's like ding, 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 the house, the place, everything's falling into place. We're like, we should bring Zoom in. A lot of people are asking if there's a Zoom option. Could we find anyone to help us run the Zoom room? No. Like, what's going on? Anyways, so we have that in line. So we are going to bring it in through Zoom, but we needed somebody that was really rehearsed in like the breakout rooms and all the different things, because we need somebody that can do that with the collective that's going to be watching it that way. So we do have all of that going now, and we've got our equipment and everything. It was just like this whole new world. And it's like, man, I am going to know so much more by the end of this. It's going to be kind of cool in the sense that, yes, that's true. I'm going to know a lot more about these things moving forward. But, that's going to be awesome. At some point, Judy and I are going to collaborate on a channeling and light language in Australia. I have had people from Australia asking, when are you coming out here? It's like, when am I going to do that? So yeah, that's going to be something that we talk about as well and get some dates down. And when we do, we will announce that. And that'll be a fun journey as well.
Sure
So
will.
all the things in all the places, it's kind of like I want to do them all at once. You know, it's like all these places I've never been and they're on my bucket list. And Judy's house is one of them. So
it will be an absolute pleasure.
yeah, I can't wait for that. And so if everybody will join me, Judy just recently had a birthday, so we're going to sing for her and get that going. So all of you lovelies, warm up your voices with me, will you? And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I really don't like that song because I don't think I hit the pitches. But anyways, know that we love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. And I really appreciated your post, and so many members of our audience here actually posted on that. So I really want to thank you all for that. It was very heartwarming and quite overwhelming. So it was very much appreciated. Thank you.
It's going to show up in my future posts as one of the most popular posts you had all year, Judy's birthday. It totally is going to hit that because every time I went to log on, that was the first thing that popped up. And I'm like, oh, how funny. There are so many comments on that. I love it. And you deserve every wonderful comment that was there. So that's awesome. Did we forget anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Jupiter and the inner Earth. Yeah, I think that's it at the moment.
I'm trying to talk Judy into doing another workshop of her own. So be watching for that to come out. And I know that I didn't prep you for this, Judy, but you should be well aware that these words are going to come out of my mouth. Are you going to take us into a little guided journey before we get started?
I was preparing for that question for the workshop, not today.
And I'm feeling what? Ow. You don't think you could just bring something up, just ad lib that thing and just bring it in? Are you finding it up there?
No, I'm not finding my inspiration there. I'm just not
where to go.
Anything. I think we just better dive straight into the questions because we've got so many.
So funny. Okay. Lots more happy birthdays coming on in this room here.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Lots of fun. Okay, let's see. So all the questions, if you guys are just joining us, all the questions were asked pre this video. We had the last 4 or 5 videos. You were supposed to put questions on there, and Judy collected those up and she used the pendulum. You want to describe your process?
Yes, I collate all the questions. I then print them out and then spread them out over my desk, and I use the pendulum asking in what order they should be. So it goes over each page. It's either yes or no. The question is on this page, and then I hold it over each question and it will either say yes or no. So that is a process for picking the order of the questions. I have no input into it whatsoever. And it's quite fascinating how the way that it transpires. So yeah, very, very interesting. I quite enjoy it. And just with future reference, the closing out of the questions is about 12 hours prior to the show. So for me, it's the night before. It's 9 o'clock here in Australia. So it's about 12 hours prior to the show that I cut it off as to what questions get brought up. So we'll just bear that in mind for future ones.
Came in a little late. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so I have Jaja in the chat room. The same question keeps bouncing up over and over and over again. If you're doing that on purpose, please don't. If otherwise there's something else that's going on there and I'm not sure what it is. But you are asking about demonic entities. You are the one that can clear that, not anyone else. You do not give them permission to be there. And yeah, you got to clear your energy and do your work around that. Find out why the energy is there in the first place. So to answer that question, Daniel does not clear the body of demonic energies. That is an individual journey. Just, I think there's something there to address anyways, is one of the things that I use as a quote quite often is that you want to use discernment and don't give away your power. And so, Jaja, if you're asking anything outside of yourself to move something inside of you, you're giving away your power to that. You are the one that's powerful enough to move that energy out. And you can say no to that. And because you're asking the question, I think that's what, you're clear enough to do that. You can say no. But we all got to be careful not to give our power away to other people. You see people channeling, you see people do readings, you see people do healings. Well, those people aren't doing the healings. You're doing the healing. You're the one believing for that. You're the one that put your energy into that. And so you are the one that is creating the healing energy for your body, for your mind, for your soul. Others can help facilitate that. They can bring in information for you that maybe you overlooked or couldn't see because you were so meshed in it. But you're the one that's doing the healing. You're the one that's doing the clearing. You're the one doing that. So empower yourself with that information. And with that, I guess, are you going to do a little guided?
I was just going to say that was beautifully explained, Tracie. Very beautifully explained. So I'll go to question 1.
Okay, so this is called the avoidance pattern.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, let's get in there and see what we can do for your questions. I'm going to go get Daniel, and apparently we're not going to do a little, but come back
later.
Wait a minute. So if I'm understanding it right, you were wanting to do this for the workshop of the inner earth?
I dumped myself in that one beautifully, didn't I? Because I know what you do.
That sounded like a commitment to me, but whatever. I'll just introduce you very politely at the beginning of that workshop, and you'll be pleasantly surprised then too, I guess. So, all right. We're going to go get Daniel. I'm going to quit picking on Judy. And okay, let's find out what Daniel has to say for this beautiful collective on all their questions. All right. The energy of this group is quite bouncy, isn't it? A lot of things going on, a lot of energy coming in and moving through each person. We thank you all for being here and for enjoying this interaction of these ones that are bringing you this live show today. We thank Judy for being here. We thank Tracie for almost being here without Judy's help, right? She would have been sweeping floors at this point, but it is all good. We are thankful that they have both arrived, and where one has been floating off into the universe, the other one came and pulled her and tethered her back down, right? So we are thankful for you being here. We are thankful for the energy that you bring. And as we bring in these beautiful questions, we hope to do our best to bring you the answers that are in the highest and best good. And so what we will do with everyone today is we will ask everyone to bring in their gatekeepers and their spirit guides, their counsels. We ask that only the highest and best information comes through for each answer, and that you hear that answer in the highest and best frequency possible for you. Now, remember that when you re-listen to these, you may hear it differently than you did the first time. So for those of you who get questions answered, or for those of you who resonated with a question that was asked and answered, make sure you listen to it again another time down the road to see if that answer holds new meaning for you at a different point after listening to it the first time. Isn't that always fun to do as well? So Judy, we'll let you ask the questions now. We'll quit holding you off, and we know you're anticipating all these answers, so we will bring those in now.
Thank you, Daniel. So the first question is from Chichek, and who lives in Turkey, and over the last years has been called to go to a certain area of Turkey known as Mesopotamia, and says when they're on walks, feeling the energy of the stones as well as masters and saints and ancient civilizations which are there, but also feels as if going to a beloved lover. They say they know they have a mission for those lands, and even visiting contributes, but what are they being asked to do?
Well, we love her energy. Very strong, very powerful energy. That is a special part of the world, a part that is very, there is a lot of Christ energy or crystalline energy that is flowing through certain pressure points of the earth in that area, and in the area of Turkey, and these pressure points or placements that she has been guided to go to. A lot of crystalline energy being anchored in. There was large masses of people that were here as volunteers, removing the toxicities of the earth, the old vibrations of the earth, the denser energies of the earth, whatever you identify with as this pattern of energy that is moving off the earth now, just as your physical bodies have been acclimating to the new vibrations and to the new frequencies and leveling yourself into higher and higher or faster vibrating energies, the earth is doing the same. And so there was a spell, there was a time where her and her collective and her like-minded friends were working with clearing and purging energy. And now they are flooding ley lines with the energy of the crystalline energy frequencies, as well as the pillars of light in whatever construct or pattern that it is required. It is like a little formula, right? You add just this much color of that one and this much of this one, and you get a frequency and a vibration from that. And the patterns and the vibrations, her and her collective are working with off-planetary systems to create the frequencies and vibrations that the earth is ready for at this time. And as those vibrations and frequencies come in, they feed through the ley lines, they feed through the etherical grid that goes around the planet. There are many collectives around the planet that are doing this right now, which makes sense, right? So this is a very big planet, so we need lots of collectives that are working with now pumping this beautiful energy back into the earth. And it is almost like you take a ball and you deflate it of all the air, and then you pump it up with new air, right? And so you're pumping the earth up again with beautiful, beautiful energy. There has been a lot of repair of the crystals within the earth, a lot of repairs, and we believe that we'll go into the crystals in the workshop on the 1st. So we'll talk more about that in that workshop. But the crystal repairs that have happened are now activating the crystals. They're now coming to life from the inside of the earth out and bringing vibration from below as much as it is from above. And so this is all part of what the collective is working on at this time. And we think that that question goes out to many ears that are listening. If you resonated with that answer, that is because you are part of the collective working in the system and bringing active again those crystal grids and the grids of the earth to help bring back those healing waters, to help bring back the activated cells within the earth, within the body, within the planetary system, within the atmosphere, and so on and so on and so on. It just keeps expanding. And so there's just a little answer to some of what she wanted to know. And we think that will be enough to chew on for a while. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. That was wonderful. Thank you.
That was a good kickstart. You see why we chose that one first.
Absolutely. The next one is from Lindsay, who's had an activation with Saint Germain in the Violet Flame last week and had an incredible healing like never experienced before. They felt the energy and that it shifted across all time and space. They feel called to share this and realize it can be so easy, that dense energy can be shifted quickly and have a powerful impact. And just asking you, Daniel, to speak a little bit more on this if possible.
Beautiful activation indeed. And of course, Saint Germain is one that is dear to Tracie's heart. It is definitely a connection to her. You are a keeper of the violet flame, Lindsay. And so of course, that was a quick transfer for you of energy and transmuting the densities. And Saint Germain and the violet flame, that is, if you are not familiar with Saint Germain comes in with the intention of clearing dense energies, transmuting and clearing your pathways. And so a very beautiful saint indeed to work with, a very beautiful energy to work with. Lindsay, we do see you connected even more so with the master realm. We do see you as being one of the ones that is bringing in the Moses codes. The Moses codes were the codes that were coming in to help reset the earth and bring in new energies to the earth, activating not just the planet, but the animals and the plant life and human life, eventually in that reactivation as well. But a lot of codes coming in, and you are bringing in a lot of the codes into the planet, and the density that was cleared from your energy fields, that was not even yours to carry. Those were densities that you pulled out from others. And so you were relieved of that density, and you continue to pull densities out of others. We are sorry, Tracie gets in here with her analogies, and it makes us laugh because she says it's like she has a memory board, like a terabyte of memory in her system. And so she takes on other people's densities and puts them in storage, and just like a large terabyte storage unit, it can hold quite a bit, and then it gets cleared. And so she's like that. You can clear it more often and keep that space open for other energies. That's what we'll tell you. And so we thank you so much for the work that you're doing and helping in that clearing of those dense energies. The message earlier was for you as well. And thank you for bringing in that information of how quickly it can be cleared with you set the intention, and so it shall be, right? And so if something is not being cleared when you set the intention, then go back to that and ask why. Ask more questions, because in the way things work, if it is in the highest good for this to be cleared and it is not yours to carry, then it should be cleared. So if it's not being cleared, then there's a purpose for it being there. So now it's time to play the detective. Why are you here? What is the purpose of this being here? What am I learning from this? Or what am I extracting from this experience? What am I bringing to this experience? Find out why things are there. Aches, pains, illnesses, whatever it is. We were talking about the energy attachments earlier. If it is still there and it's not leaving, ask why. What is the information that needs to be taken from that? Because you and your powerful counsels are so strong that there should be nothing attaching itself to you unless you are allowing it on some level. And you might not even be knowing what level it is that you are allowing that to happen. And so as you look into that, you ask for your counsel to take it to the deepest levels of who you are, other lifetimes, other realms, other realities, other timelines. You might be hanging on to it by a thread, but that thread is enough for it to be there. So make sure you are cutting all cords in all dimensions, all time, all space, all realities, and that the message that you are meant to take from this is now your knowledge, and you have it, and you no longer need the experience. And so as you are clearing those energies, as you repeat those words that we share, we send love and light to all the space, when you are done, to all the space that had been occupied by this energy. We now fill it with light and love and understanding, love and forgiveness. We ask for all energies to go to their highest and best good so that they may transition and no longer suffer in those denser energies as well. Everything needs to be moved and transferred into a higher dimension, into transmuting those denser energies so that they no longer need to be experienced. And once the purpose of that denser energy is played out, it is no longer needed. So you can ask for it to be healed as well. Don't hold on to it. Don't send it out the door to somebody else's house. Don't do all those things. Transmute. You have beautiful gifts and powers. Bring your angelic realms in, bring all of those gifted loved ones in, bring all of those beautiful council members in, all your starseed connections. You have everything it takes to transmute any of these ideas, thought forms, impressions, physical things that are happening. All the things can be transmuted through beautiful connections that you already have within you. And we know we kind of went on a lot about that one, but we think we also answered questions that are further down the road. So now maybe we eliminated 2 questions. How does that sound?
Sounds fabulous. Such wonderful information. And the next one is from Penny, who works with children with many different issues, both physical and emotional, and anxiety is always a major issue. Can you give any insight on how to best help them?
Helping them with their anxiety. Is that right? It is interesting because as we look at this, again, the energy now coming up from the earth realm is a higher frequency. We're looking as each of these cases that she has, they're very individual. It is not a blanket statement. We wish it were. For each one, it'll be different. We do see, we keep seeing roots growing into the earth, roots growing into the earth. So with each one of these children, we see roots growing into the earth. We want to know, Penny, we know that there's a lot of energy that goes through these children. They're very high vibrational beings, and so a lot of energy moves through them. And to ask, maybe this is more, feels more like a reminder to remind you to clear the space between each of the children, unless you see them as a group. But when your groups are done, clear the space. If your session with the child is done, clear the space. It's about clearing space and then putting down, we're going to say it how we hear it, Penny, put down a grounding mat in your mind's eye. It is not a real physical, tangible thing. You're going to visualize where the children will be sitting and just see a grounding mat. And in your mind, you're going to see when they step on this space that you are intending this grounding mat to be, it pulls them down into a more comfortable and safe environment. It would not hurt to call in that they feel safe and comfortable, grounded, secure, heard, valued, and understood in your room. And so that when they come in your room, they're feeling right away safe and comfortable. You will need to be doing this practice daily because of how much energy comes and goes from your space. And so set it in a morning intention, get there a few minutes early, set the intention for the space. Then at the end of the day, before you leave, sit, clear the space and transmute energy and call in safe and comfortable and relaxed energy into the space again. So it is about space clearing. There's a lot of shifting going on right now, a lot of people going through the transitions and moving out old energies, moving in new energies. It's a weird feeling for some and it's unexplainable to others. And there's a lot going on the planet right now. Always, we say this always, a lot going on, depending on where you're at and where you're receiving the frequencies. And these children are really pulling in some energy right now. We see them pulling it in, which their physical bodies are not sure how to handle that, which brings out that anxiety. And so the more that we can set the energy and vibration and frequency of the space that they're in, the better they will do. If anyone is listening to this and they want to send calm, peaceful energy to Penny's space, and Penny is open to receiving calm, peaceful energy for her space, we will do that for her. This beautiful collective that is listening today, beautiful healers, beautiful light workers, beautiful energy coming in. And so as we all set intention for these amazing children who have come in to show us the way and how to be in these energies, yes, and how to be in love and light and to protect the innocent and to hold into these beautiful, strong forms and collectives and hold these vibrations of love and intention and bring that to the world. There's so many things that can distract us from that, so many things that can pull us away from that and make us not make us anything. Influencing us possibly is a word to look away from this desire of peace and joy and love and get off track a bit and get off track here. So today our message is get back on track, come back to center. Remember to clear your space, clear your energies, clear your minds, allow for the denser energies, the jealousies, the hurts, the pains, the sorrows, the suffering, all of that, being in the victim mentality, all of that can be cleared. And it's so easy to bounce back into it. And it's so easy to clear it, as was it Lindsay that said that earlier? So easy to clear. Bring the purple violet light in, bring Saint Germain in, bring in your counsels, bring in your light. We like to work with Ganesh as well to plow the path and clear the obstacles out of the way. Some call it prayer, some call it a meditation, whatever you want to call it, setting the intentions. Get into that space daily, and you're going to find yourself sailing through that much quicker, much easier when you are in that space. Another long answer, but again, we think one that many needed to hear.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. These children are amazing. So any help in working with them is got to be greatly appreciated. Okay, the next question is from, probably saying it wrong, Hale Toge, who says, nowadays everything in life is changing so rapidly, as if a divine hand is arranging everything for them, and they feel like an observer. This point, I feel like they're starting a brand new second life. What is the call or message of the system to them at this point?
Let us understand the question. They want to know, what is their call at this time? Yes, because it feels like embarking on a new life. So what is it that they need to know? Many people are experiencing that. Many people are experiencing that the purpose for why they came in as a light worker is now complete, and now they are embarking on something new. In fact, we have done many sessions with people where it is time to get their new assignment because they have completed their task or what they came into this life to do. And now they feel lost in that, they are wondering, what is it I'm supposed to do now? And we notice that, as you would call them, the 3 waves of volunteers, this would be the first wave. The first wave were coming to us first, that age group that would fall under that for, to simplify it. They would come to us first, and they're like, I feel like I have no purpose all of a sudden, and I feel like I'm done with what I'm supposed to do. And new purpose was given to them. Now we are noticing it from the second wave or age group of the second waivers, that they are now coming to us. And we see this as a very exciting sign. Very exciting when your task is done, isn't it? And it's time for a reassignment, and something new is being branched into this world. And we tell you, all of you that feel this way, that you feel like, okay, well, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. And it is the best answer that anyone could ever hear, because your new assignment, the new thing for you to do, is to find your joy. Because you have already put the information out. You have already worked with people and helped people, and you will still be working with people and helping people. That does not go away. It won't, you don't have to seek them out. They will find you. So no more seeking them out. They will find you. No more going out in the world and saying, we need to do this, we need to do that, you need to change this, you need to change that. Here's what you need to do. You need to go have fun. You need to go find your bliss, find your joy, find your laughter, find the things that make you happy. And then the people will come to you and be like, how are you so happy? How are you so happy? And then you get to talk to them and share with them and open their minds up to the possibilities and take them into the bliss and the joy of they're so much more than what they think they are, and keep expanding their minds and sending them on their journeys. And what beautiful way showers you will all be. As you go out and find your joy, you're setting that stage for others to find their way to joy as well. What is the frequency that's going to help us move into the 5th dimension? That is love and joy. And so not only are you finding joy and experiencing life in a much better way, but you are also setting that frequency into the planet. And when that frequency is in the planet, what is it? What did they say a flashlight does? It You turn a flashlight on in the darkness and the darkness goes away, right? Well, same with joy. You sprinkle joy and love on the denser energies and the denser energies go away. It's really hard to be around a person that's laughing and having a good time and not shifting out of a bad mood and into a good one, wouldn't you say? Yes. And so go find your joy. That is your next assignment. Go find your joy. You're going to find your way in that. If there is other tasks that you want to do as a teacher, as a way shower, and follow that heart. If that's what brings you joy, you go do that. Because we're not saying you're not going to be working on these platforms anymore. You may as well be doing that very strongly if that brings you joy. If it does not bring you joy, go find what does. Maybe traveling brings you joy. Maybe taking long hikes brings you joy. Maybe spending time with friends brings you joy. All of them are healing. Everything that you do that finds joy in you, that is a healing energy and frequency for the planet. So isn't that fun to know that, oh, in order to heal the planet, I need to be happy, right? I need to find my joy. And so put your focus on the things that make you happy. And that is what is going to move this world into that new earth that you are looking for.
Wonderful answer. Wonderful.
Yes, I like that answer too. It's exciting for us when we get that question because it shows us that everything is ascending as planned. And now we're on the second wave. So that is going very fast if you ask us. It is moving very quickly that the second wave is now asking for their reassignments. Beautiful time.
So Sadie is the next question and asks about what's referred to as the veil and what does it mean. She says when she lays her head down on the pillow at night and the room is dark, she sees what she believes to be a veil. Each time she sees this, it will have a different pattern.
It has a different pattern. I like this. Okay, so the veil, what is the veil? The veil will be different for each individual, just as a life path and a vibration and a frequency is different for each person. As we're looking at this question, we're seeing this pattern as almost a gateway into different realms and realities. And that is why the pattern is different, because those are doorways into something different, right? And so when you think of the veil is keeping me from the higher self or the information or remembering the lifetimes, remembering who I was beforehand. This veil keeps me safe in this energy and this earth body that I'm in so that I can be focused on what I'm doing. Those are ideas behind what is the veil. And the veil is there purposely so that you would come into this lifetime and be able to live this lifetime without longing for one of your other lifetimes that weren't in such dense energies, right? And so it is there to protect. But as you awaken and as you understand your assignment here, as you start evolving and moving into the greatness of all the beautiful things you can do while in this incarnation, you start to notice the veil thinning. Everyone has heard that the veil is thinning. And now there's very little between me and that connection to the higher self, and very little between me and my guides and all the things, and my memories are coming in and I'm remembering things. And that is exactly the way that is supposed to work. As you keep raising the vibration, the density of the veil gets thinner and thinner. It starts vibrating faster as well. That being set aside now, we're seeing patterns in these veils, as you would say. These would be more like membranes to portals to other worlds. And we're seeing this as gateways into knowledge, information, access to otherworldly things, other pieces of knowledge, healing tools, all the different things. And we kind of wish that we had this one live with us. What was the name on this one?
Sadie.
So Sadie, when you are looking at these different patterns, find the one that you're most drawn to and ask that pattern, where would you like to take me? And then in your mind's eye, imagine moving through that pattern into the other side of that veil and going to where it takes you. And look for answers to questions, look for healing modalities, look for information, technology, anything that you can find. Just be an open mind to what do you want to show me? Don't go into it thinking you know what you're looking for. Allow it to be shown to you. Let it take you on a journey. We think that you would have a lot of fun going through these veils and finding that they are doorways to different realities. How fun is that? So enjoy that. Maybe that's where Judy will take us when we have her do her opening on her earth reading. She'll take us through the checkered pattern veil, yes, and then she'll take us through the Merlin's cube, and then she'll
Okay, I'm taking note. We'll see what develops over the next few days.
beautifully done. Wonderful.
Okay, moving. Next one is it's either Mari or Marie. I'm not sure for the pronunciation there. Who said 6 years ago she had an awakening, but has not had any more signs or things coming to her for about the last 4 years. She says, is she part of this awakening, and what is her gift? What is she to do?
Am I part of the awakening? Well, we say to you, you're listening to us now. You found your way to ask a question. So yes, you are part of the awakening. We're seeing a symbol of the planet, like it is being made out of metal, like someone would carry a third dimensional keychain of the globe on it. It is an interesting thing. We're saying it out loud because we're seeing it, and we're hoping that this will evolve and show us more. As we speak it, it will keep evolving and showing us more. So when we look at you with this energy of, am I part of the awakening? Am I part of the volunteers? Am I in this wave of energy of ascension? More so than you know you are. And the last 4 years, we would like to ask the question, why have you not felt like you were part of this ascending process over the last 4 years? And the laughter is not ours. The laughter is coming from somewhere else. And it's like, how have you not noticed? How they want you to look at the, as we call them now, the COVID years, right? The 2 years of feeling the lockdowns and the different restrictions over COVID. Look at how you have grown. Look into who you are today compared to who you were 4 years ago. Look at the world around you and how it has changed. There are, and you have assignments that you have been doing out of body in your sleep state, which has slowed down the progress or the appearance. It has slowed down the appearance of progress in the earth realm itself, but you have been working very strongly in your sleep state. You are an avatar. You are not of this body. You are in this body. It is not your, how would one say, original body. The work that you do is behind the scenes, and it is not in this earth as much as it is around this earth. You are going into other dimensions and realities in your sleep state, but you needed the physical body to bring your information back with you into this earth. The analogy of watching a ball go flat and then fill it back up with air. You are the needle that goes into the little hole that you can pump the air through to put the air into the ball. The body that you have chosen, the one that you have come into, this is the needle. This is the way that you get the energy to the earth. You are much more precious than you're giving yourself credit for. We want to say you probably have a lack of interest of the planet itself, because you are more interested in the work you do outside of the planet. There are a lot of memories you have been, you have blocked yourself from. No one else has blocked this from you. Your higher self knew to block the information from you because you would not stay. You would want to go home. You would want to go to your home planet. but you are very important here. We don't want you to lose track of that. You are very important here. And you have found your way to this question and to our platform because you do have a change coming where you will open up now. As you have learned, as you have information now in front of you, it is time for you to know this information. It is time for you to grow now from the information, and you get to choose what to do with this information that you are learning today. You get to choose whether to believe it or not to believe it. Use your discernment, use your heart, use your focus, your compass, your center. Does this feel right to you? And with that information, you can move forward. No matter what you do, you're moving forward. What you take in as a new truth to you, you can ascend from that and expand it and move into a bigger awareness of who you are through that expansion. Ask to connect to the star beings that you work with when you are out of the body. It is an important time for you to remember, but you also need to remember you cannot do it wrong. No one here can. Everything that you are doing, it is appropriately in alignment with what you came here to do. So you cannot mess it up. You cannot do it wrong. The physical body, your mental, your emotional, all of the elements of you as you embody this physical being, you are doing everything you can to bring enlightenment to the planet and do your part. And that is happening whether you are aware of it or not. You have been bringing energy in. You have been a frequency transmitter. You have been helping to purge and to, isn't that interesting that we have a lot of people that are part of the purge and restore that are here in the questions today. So many of you needed to know this information that now we are in the restoring. Remember, it took a long time to purge the energy, and we're not saying that is completely done yet. We're still seeing the residue of the purge. What you have to understand is that time and space is all happening at the same time, right? It is layers upon layers upon layers. And so what we see as light coming in and this purging being complete, you may not experience for another 2-3 weeks, months, not years. You may start to see it and feel it over time, where we can already see it has already been happening. And so we are seeing time in a different dimensional frequency than you are. But what we are seeing is that this energy is now coming in to fill the planet. And that will take a little bit of time in your perspective, where we see it as already complete. So as you are catching up to this, as you are moving through this, know that you are a big part of everything that is positive in this world. Everything that is growing in a most positive and exponential and beautiful ascended way. You are part of that. So for everyone, never discount who you are on this planet, even if you are feeling yourself to be, what is that movie with Adam Sandler where he has a remote and he's on autopilot? Never see yourself as on autopilot. You are always doing something. There is always something that is happening, and you are contributing and bringing in beautiful energy. So just always relax in knowing that whatever part that you came here to play, you are doing it. Ask if you want to be more involved. Ask if you want to see something in a bigger and broader aspect of it. If you want to be more in the, what do they call that, in the front lines of things, so that you're more involved and interacting more, ask and then seek it out. You need to take action steps towards the things that you desire as well. It cannot just be a magic wand, right? Although we all like the magic wand, we do, but it takes an action step of desire to bring you fully into the outcome of that desire. So keep that in mind. Well, we said a lot again there. That one went very deep, but it was very necessary as well.
It was a beautiful and encouraging message, and I'm sure that the entire audience resonated totally with that. It was beautiful. I know I had the chills in certain parts.
Wonderful, yes. It was a beautiful message, and so many that need to know that even when they feel like they're not contributing, or there's nothing happening, or why do I feel like I've been on the bench for 4 years, right? And Tracie went through a spell like that. Hers was 3 years, by the way. And she said, why have I been benched for the last 3 years? And yet here the whole time she was going through this incredible growth spurt, and in hindsight she could see it, but when she was in it, she was not able to see it. So remember just to look back on yourselves over the last few years and how much you have changed, and start experiencing life with joy and greatness, because you are part of this beautiful expansion. You wouldn't be here if you were not. So that goes to everyone. Where are we at with our questions, dear one?
Okay, Remzo asks, how is love experienced differently in our dimension compared to the fifth dimension? And does it have a different dynamic in a higher frequency dimension?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It has a different dynamic. How is love experienced differently? Depends on what kind of love we are speaking about. Love in the third dimension comes with, and we don't want to trigger anybody with this, so just take it all with a grain of salt, and remember, if it doesn't resonate for you, do not wear that. Do not take it. Do not carry it. Do not spend another moment on it. But our experience and observation is love in the third dimension. It comes with jealousy. It comes with judgment. It comes with expectations. It comes with a side dish of something. And so even when you think you are loving in the truest form of love, it's unconditional love. I love my child unconditionally, but I sure wish that they would change what they're doing and change this and change that and change this, right? And so as we are evolving through love, love can mean many different things. I love this person, and because I love them, I want them to behave this way, this way, this way, this way. See, it comes with a lot of expectations. There are versions of love out there that are free, and I love you to love you. You have romantic love. You have love for your parents. You have love for your pets. You have love for your children. You have many different levels of love, and you experience love in many different ways. And you have the physical aspect of love and romantic partnerships and touching and feeling and knowing and heart connections. And love is so expansive and can be experienced in so many different ways. And we don't want to damage this word love with this idea of expectations and judgment and jealousies. That is a portion of it. That's what you experience here. And we would like to know if anyone is out there that hasn't experienced love with jealousies and expectations. Is there anyone that has that experience? But you came here with those experiences to be experienced. Love in the fifth dimension is more lighthearted and free. You do not, because the fifth dimension is more telepathic, there is no question of whether someone is loving you back or what their intentions are. You feel it, you know it. You know if their love is true, or if they feel like they are fading out, or why they would even be fading out. What is happening there? Why is that moving apart? Where in your third dimensional world, somebody might just break up with you or say something, or you interpret something wrong, or all these little areas of misinterpretation or miscommunication can happen. Whereas in a fifth dimension, you are sharing a frequency, you are interacting through energy. There are no more secrets, there are no more jealousies, there are no more expectations. And so love can be experienced through love. I love you, and then I love this person over here too, and I love that person over there too. But because you can feel that my love for you is real and true, you're not jealous of the love that I have for other people. And then you also love other people. And I know that our love and our connection is real because I feel it. So I don't feel that threat from others. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so there's so much more to it, obviously, but yes, there is going to be a different experience upon love and in the other world, in the fifth dimensional frequency. And as you can grow into that in your third dimension, as you can start to understand that you're feeling hurt, or jealous or frustrated or angry because you had an expectation or because you have doubt and fear, wherever that density is, go look at that. Go find out why that's there. Why was that being mirrored back to you? And you can find yourself cutting those chains free and just allowing yourself to be in love with yourself and in love with the world. Because in the third dimension, if you are experiencing all those things, it is showing you where you're not loving yourself, right? It is always a reflection of self. And so as you bring it back to you, when you fully and truly love yourself, the expression around you will always be love in return. So go play with that, right?
That was a great question. Thanks, Remzo, and a wonderful answer.
And it's good to have Remzo here. We enjoy his energy. That's
okay. The next one is from Petrina, who asks, will the new business that she's planning to open in the summer of 2023 be a productive and positive new endeavor?
We're playing in that energy a little bit. The new business in 2023, in June of 2023, is that right?
Summer of 2023. So I don't know where Petrina is. So it could be June or January.
Very interesting. Well, let's focus on the business. We feel like there's a few things that could shift. Part of it is the energy of fear around it. Will it, will it, will it, will it, will it, will it? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Shift that energy. You're going to do great. Whoever the person is that you're questioning, is this person going to be a good partner in this, or is this person going to be reliable? Whatever that is, maybe it's not a partner, but it's somebody that you have in your circle that you feel either isn't dependable, or you're questioning whether or not they're going to be reliable in this situation. You need to address that. If you don't know who we're talking about, this could be something that pops in the future. So if it's not in your immediate, don't worry about that. If it shows up in the future, then you know, this is who Daniel was talking about. This is the one I need to address. But right now, if it's not in your immediate future, if it's not happening right now, and this is not a person of question, then you can also bounce to the timeline where that doesn't exist. So keep that in mind as well. You can always change it if that is not somebody that's already in the circle. Okay, so release your doubt and fear. Some of that's ancestral. Somebody got in your head as a child, you can't do that, you can't do that. You know, it's that, or that you can't do that, you're a girl, maybe that's it. Or you can't do that, you're too weak. You can't do that, you don't know what you're doing. You're not smart enough. Something in there needs to be cleared. So we're sending in your counsel to come help you with that, to move that old program out. Because there is a fear of failure there, and we want to move it out because there's no need to fail. That's not an experience you need to have. You didn't come here to have that experience. That was somebody else's. That's an ancestral vibration that can be cleared away. And with that being said, here's going to be your biggest help in this whole endeavor. Find your joy. When you find your joy in this new endeavor, and you show your joy to everyone that comes across your new business, it is going to expand through them. You are going to change lives. You are going to be somebody who shares light and love and expansion just by enjoying what you do. So we say, when you step into that energy and find your joy and just be in the joy of everything that is going on around you, what's coming in for your business, what's being created through it, all of it, we feel it just going expansive and out into the multiverse. And that is even limiting. Keep it going, keep it expanding, right? So yes, your business will be, you already jumped the timeline, your business will be just fine.
Thank you. Okay, next question is from Northern Lights, who's been having a lot of activity, portal activity going inside ships, downloads, lots and lots of things going. They ask, is there something that they're being prepared for that is coming up that changes life, or will they be doing something new soon? And when will that happen?
Yes. There is a little finishing work to do, just a little bit. All the assignments that you have had in the past, you have been very successful with those. And the rapid cleanup of the earth, you have been a big part of getting some very necessary energy densities off the planet, and also very involved with the healing of the crystals within the planet. And so the reassignment, yes, there is a reassignment coming. You're doing a lot of the same work. Now you're just reversing that energy, right? You've already extracted. Now you're going to, it's like you get a little vacation, and then you're going to come back into moving the energy back in. And we feel like you're going to have your little helpers are going to be moving into the earth to do some more divine repair, is how we're hearing it. They got more divine repair to do. Not everything on the inner earth is completed, but the energy and the vibrations. Isn't this an interesting time where we keep getting the message that the earth, the clearing the energy of the earth, that part is complete. We see it in our mind is complete, but yet then we go to the third dimensional earth and we see the remnants of that still being cleared away. And so our timeline has not caught up to this completion yet, but we are being told it is complete. And so we will feel that's probably the energy that people have been feeling, that we've been feeling wonky, and what's going on in the planet right now, what's happening, all the weird things, and not just feeling a little off is probably that energy catching up to the completion. And then it's going to start moving the other direction as all the energy starts flowing into the earth now. And so the timeline that we're speaking on right now has not caught up to the completion yet, but it is there, and it is almost to full point of completion. Then everyone will start experiencing the energy coming into the planet to pump that ball back up. Yes. And Northern Lights is going to be participating in that energy flux as well. More as a moderator of the energy to make sure that it's not coming in at speeds or intensities that are too strong for the planet or the people or the animals and so on. And so there is a portion or a part of the higher self that is in the moderation segment, making sure the energy isn't coming in too fast, too strong. And then of course there are the ones that you are working with that are going into the earth and bringing this in to heal. It is like when a bone gets set, now it's in place, now it needs to heal, and that takes a little time, right, to have it all grow back together and heal, and all the cracks and everything are sealed up, and the body naturally knows how to do that. And that's what's happening with Earth now. Everything is starting to heal from all the time of carrying all that weight, all that density. Now it's starting to heal, and then it's going to move into being stronger. And those points of where the break happens, they end up stronger, the bone ends up denser, right? Because more of the body's material builds up there to hold that in place. And so the world is going to be stronger and start building up in the same way. And so, yes, Northern Lights, you'll be part of all of that. Reassignment coming, yes. Lots of information coming in today, isn't there?
Sure is. It's just wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is from Julie, who in a recent session with you, you asked her if she was doing Reiki, and she said no, and you said to her that you have goddess energy. So she'd like to know, is this a gift that she has now, or does she need to do some training? Can she use it to heal herself and use on pets?
She doesn't need the training. She already has the information within her DNA and her cellular structure. Yes, she can use it on herself. She can use it on loved ones. She can use it on pets. The Reiki attunements come in and they are part of an awakening of a Reiki flow of energy. They call in the master realm that work in this energy. It is always nice to get in there and to have that what do you want to call it? The activations of the energy flowing, but it is not necessary for you to go in and have that in order to remember how to use it. And so you are a natural conduit of energy, as is everyone. Set your intentions. If there are symbols that come through, draw them and set your intentions to heal, set your intentions to shift the energy and to raise the vibration around ailments and thought patterns and all the things. You don't have to have the attunements. However, many love the attunements because the attunements will bring you into the remembering through the ceremonies and through the activations. And so we encourage attunements for many of you. If you feel drawn to it, please go do it. If there's another modality you feel drawn to, please go do it, because it's going to be part of your remembering the gifts and abilities that you have access to. So yes, go ahead and work on those animals now. Go ahead and work on self now. Go ahead and work on clearing the home of energy now, and to reset that energy in that Reiki frequency or that energy frequency that you work with. And find yourself on your way to expanding that even bigger and bigger. Tracie calls Reiki the gateway drug into enlightenment, right? It's like the gateway into the next thing and the next thing. So we encourage everyone to explore these classes and these courses that you are drawn to, because they are part of you remembering special gifts and abilities that you have. And we hope that you find that you resonate with the teachers before you sign up, that you resonate with what it is. Do a little research around it and see if that feels right for you before venturing into it, because it is very important to be on the right frequency when going into something. And we say this because we have had stories of people taking, say, ayahuasca journeys, but they didn't have very good guides to take them through those journeys. Make sure that you do a little research in those areas, because even if you're drawn to do something, make sure you're also drawn to the instructor of the thing you want to do. Does that make sense?
Oh yes, that is a very, very important aspect. Very much so. If you haven't got that resonance, you're not going to establish a bond of trust between you and that person when doing the work.
Exactly. You will still get a lesson. You can't do it wrong, right? You'll still learn something from that experience, but you'll have a better experience and better learning if you resonate with the teacher.
Okay, next one is from Ivy. There's two parts to the question. If we have a soul contract, how can we have free will? And the second part is, how can we manifest?
Interesting questions. Soul contracts. Well, we think of it like a classroom, right? You go into a classroom, let's say you go into your math class, you know you're going to be learning math, right? But you have the free will to go to class. You have the free will to sit down and actually listen to the teacher. You have the free will to do the assignment. You don't have to be there. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. But you did give yourself an outline. You gave yourself a pathway. You gave yourself destiny moments. You gave yourself, you're the one that designed it. So when you get cranky about what's going on in your life, go look in a mirror and have a talk about that, okay? Because you designed your life. You designed it very, very specifically for what you wanted to learn and grow and establish. A lot of you now remember, we want you to remember that you came in with the intention that the family that you came into, you were going to help them clear their karma. And as many have already learned, that this has been very successful. It's been part of the great purge of the densities of the planet, is to clear the ancestral karma. So many of you have been working on that, and very successfully. And so think about that. To clear karma, you had to come in and experience some very, very harsh environments in order to have the understanding of the karma that you were about to clear. and to move out of those energies and to change it and to not be the family member that kept carrying on the abuse and the behaviors, right? And the addictions and so on. And so many of you have taken on some very non-favorable lifetimes in order to do some rapid clearing for the planet, for the ancestors, for the family that you came into, all the things. So do you have contracts and outlines for this life? Yes, you did. You agreed to do certain things. You came in to do certain things. You left yourself breadcrumbs so that you would make it to certain points and to certain, we always think of it as like a video game, right? You're starting the video game with the purpose of making it to the finish line of that video game, right? The top tier, the top level. Well, this is no different. You came in and you know that you're working towards ascension. You know that you're working towards healing of this planet, and you wanted to be successful. So you set yourself up with these destination points and these pivotal people and these teachers and these pathways. And again, you don't have to do any of them. That is the free will. You can choose to not do it, and then your higher self may set it up to fall in your path again, and you may choose again to not do it, and many of you have. And then it may show up again in your pathway and say, are you ready now? And then you may choose or not choose to do it again. And so you need to understand you have choice, and the choice is the free will. And things may feel like they're being forced upon you, but you have the free will to say no, and you can make different choices. And so that would be that answer to that part of the question. Was there another part to the question?
About manifesting, how to manifest.
Manifesting. Manifesting can be one of the hardest things that you ever learn and one of the easiest things that you ever learn. When you get strong and passionate about something, you manifest things rather quickly, right? Manifesting is a vibration, but you'll have to become the vibrational match. So if somebody said, here, Tracie, go pick numbers for the $500 million lottery, which was a thing. She looked at that the other day and went, oh, what would I do with all that money? And so here, fill it out, and you have the gift to pick all the numbers for this $500 million lottery. And in her mind, she could be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have all kinds of fun with that. And in her vibration and her frequency, there's another part of her that says, you would never have the intuition to pick the right numbers for that. You're not going to be able to win that kind of money. What would you do with that kind of money? You wouldn't even know what to do with that kind of money. That kind of money would be too much of a burden for you. And that vibration is stronger than the one that says, oh my gosh, I'd have so much fun with that money. And so she's not a frequency match to win that lottery. And so when you become the match on all the levels to the desire, then the desire becomes available quite quickly. We'll use another example. Let's say you need a car, and you need a car like yesterday because you got to get back and forth to work. You got to get back and forth. I can't do it without a car. I have to have that car. I have to have it. Boom, you're the vibrational match, and something shows up where somebody has a car that they're either going to sell you for what you have on cash on hand, or you're going to be able to make payments to them, or whatever it is. But the car shows up, and the way to purchase that car shows up, and it happens for you. And every one of you has examples like that, where you think of something that you absolutely, oh my gosh, rent's due tomorrow. What am I going to do? I need this amount of money, and I don't even know what to do. Oh my gosh, maybe if I sell this thing out of the garage that I don't ever use, and then boom, you sell it, and then boom, you have the money, and then boom, everything's fine again. And then you start that cycle again until it's 2 days before rent, and then you've got to do it all over again, right? But when you get into the vibrational match that you have to have that thing that you are looking at, then it happens. So when you can look at life like that, okay, now everything in my body says this is a vibrational match. I'm becoming the vibrational match. And if it's not showing up, go deeper. What is it that is keeping you? Where's the doubt? Where's the fear? Where's that little voice in your head that's still saying you're not worthy? Because you are worthy of the love that you desire. You are worthy of the life that you desire. The car, the home, the spirituality, the gifts, the intuition, the abilities, everything. You are worthy of all of it. There is nothing here holding you back from opening up to everything that you've ever desired once you become the vibrational match. Hopefully those examples helped you to understand that things that look like, but I do want this and I do wish for this. Yeah, let's go a little deeper. Let's find where it's hiding. There's that little piece hiding somewhere. And if it, we will say this also, if what you are desiring will disrupt the pathway that you have chosen for your life, then it may not appear to you the way that you have desired it to appear. What is that saying with the unanswered prayers? And those could be God's way of protecting you, the protection one. So just know that if something is not manifesting or creating, that there is a reason for that, and that you are, if you are checking in and you believe you are a vibrational match to that desire, then you may want to ask, why is this being held from me? What is it? Is this going to get in the way of something that was much more important for me to achieve or accomplish in this life? You have to understand there are many things, lessons that you signed up to learn, things that you signed up to do, pathways that you agreed to go on. And if your desire is going to get in the way of another person's free will, or your path that you have designed for yourself with destiny points, then it may take a different course than what you were looking for. Doesn't mean it won't show up though. It may still show up. It just may show up around the corner, not when you were asking for it. So much to that. And that is a loaded question, isn't it?
Sure is, but I've got a good example of that though. I know that Tracie the other day was really feeling like eating something sweet, and lo and behold, on her front porch was a box of chocolates.
And she may or may not have had one of those chocolates right before this very event. Yes, very grateful for chocolates. But instant manifestation, just like that. That
absolutely
was very true. And many times things can happen that way. Many times something that's needed, and then all of a sudden you find it, or something that you need and you can't find, and then later you find it and you realize that the timing of finding it was actually better because it kept you from doing something that you would have regretted later. And so you just got to trust and step into that desire. What is keeping you from the desire? Why is it keeping you from it? There are always reasons, right? There's pathways and reasons, and being in love and in joy and where you're at right now, and letting go of the expectation and the judgments and the jealousies, right? You got to become the frequency match to it. We see a bunch of bazillionaires now. Everybody's becoming the vibrational match to that $500 million lottery, right? Everyone. You all deserve to swim in that kind of freedom, right? And enjoy that kind of relaxation, as you don't have to worry about the bills anymore. All right. What else do we have for questions?
The next one is from MGF, who asks, is there a new job coming in the near future, one that will feel fulfilling and provide a good income, and where should they be looking?
Well, what a good follow-up question for the manifestation, right? So all the things we just said, become the vibrational match to something joyful. Everything that we've been saying in this whole show applies to this question. Find your joy, find your bliss. What do you love to do? Manifest, create, go there, do that, be in the energy of it. Take those steps. You must take steps. It's not a magic wand moment, right? You must take the steps to create. It is interesting, the things that will come in. And as we're focusing on this question, we got a very clear scent of like a vanilla candle or something of that nature, something that's very scented and very soft energy, something that would be created in meditation or just in a peaceful glass of wine, a candle lit room, and just nice quiet book, maybe reading a book, and just it feels very quiet and calm and peaceful and joyful. And the answers come to you when you are in that quiet space. If we did not describe your perfect, what is MG, what was the?
Yes. MGF.
Okay, if those were not your desired settings, the candles, the beautiful quiet room, the book, the whatever, what is the thing that brings you into your thinking place? A walk in the nature, ride a bike, go for a drive, doing some things around the house, working in the garden, whatever it might be. Go find your place to be and think, because there's energies, there's inspiration that's trying to reach you. And that inspiration it's knocking at the door, but it's not quite getting through, or you're waiting for us to validate what that information is. And that's not, it could happen today, but it's not necessary for us to validate it. You already know. So is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. And you're going to be shown your old patterns again. So something that is not of desire, but maybe it says, oh, I'm going to pay you a lot, but you're going to hate the job. You have to decide, is this old pattern of, oh, I need that security going to come in? Or are you going to say, no, I need a job that I'm going to be happy. I'm trading my life for this experience. So I need to make sure that experience is joyful. And so if you find yourself running into these obstacles where the same kind of thing keeps showing up for you, it's time for you to set clearer boundaries, right? And say, okay, Spirit, got it. I'm not taking that job anymore. I want this job with this pay, with this kind of hours. I want to work these days. I want to be able to take time off for myself this many times a year. I want these kind of benefits. I want it all. Bring it. And then snap your finger, because that always makes it more impactful, right? You bring me that. Yes? No, we don't know. Maybe you don't snap your finger. Maybe your counsel doesn't like that. But start communicating very clearly. This is what I want. Don't be teeter-tottering and saying, send me the highest good. Send me the highest good. Well, the highest good might be that you need another lesson or another thing like that. And maybe you don't want that. To be very clear. I'm done with these lessons. I want a job that's like this, 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 and this, and I want to feel this way while I'm there. I want to be loved, appreciated, understood, respected. I want to be looked at as somebody who knows my information, that has confidence, and I take pride in my work. I want to experience all of it. Figure out what you want. So many people are listening right now. That is wonderful. Go figure out what you want. You can't be wishy-washy and say, universe, bring me something. We've used this example before. If we said, Judy, we need a new car. We're going to give you $10,000. Go get us a car. Judy, what kind of car are you going to go get us?
For that amount of money, it won't be much of a car. Not here in Australia.
Well, maybe we should bump that up these days. Judy, we just gave you $50,000. Go get us a car. There you go. What kind of car would you get?
I would get an SUV that fell into that range. Cars are quite expensive here in Australia.
Cars are expensive everywhere, we will say. Okay, so Judy's getting an SUV, and she's going to pick out a color that whose color are you going to pick out? Something else. You're going to pick out turquoise, and then what kind of bells and whistles do you want on that?
Oh, everything that makes the driving of that car such a beautiful experience and very comfortable.
Okay, so Judy just bought an SUV, turquoise SUV. She pulls up and says, here, Tracie, here's your new car. And Tracie's going to go, what? I needed to have a sedan with GPS and with, this isn't anything like what I wanted. And she'll go, but all she said was, get me a car. So you see, Judy's going to come together with something that she's like, okay, well, I think she would like this, right? But I didn't tell her what I wanted. So she doesn't know what to go get me. She doesn't know what I needed that car for. So she shows up with something that obviously fits Tracy's personality, but maybe that wasn't what she needed, right? So if Tracie had said, here's $50,000, can you go get me, I want a Tesla. I want, and yes, we know $50,000 isn't going to get her the best Tesla, but she, you know, if she's telling you, I want a blue car, I want it to be 4-door sedan, I want it to have leather interior, I want it to have heated seats, I want it to have black interior, I want it to have silver accents, I want it to have, I want it to be automatic, and I want it to have rear seat heated seats and sunroofs. And now Judy has a better idea of what kind of car she's going to look for, doesn't she?
All the minute details.
All the details, yes. So what do you want for a job? How much do you want to get paid? What days do you want to work? How many hours do you want to put in? What kind of benefits do you want to have? What kind of people do you want to work with? How do you want to be looked at, seen, valued, heard? How do you want all of that to be? Everyone, start plotting your life, right? What is it that you desire? How do you want your day to look? If you are not happy in your job, what would make you happy? Maybe a change of your attitude would make you happy, right? Maybe the way you're looking at things would make you happy. Maybe if you change the way you treated the other people you work with, it'll change the way they treat you, and that will change your environment. Maybe you're part of the equation, maybe you're not. But when you're miserable and you're creating an echo of your misery coming back to you. So what can you change about where you're at and what you're doing that can change the environment that you are in? Maybe it is true that you need a new job and that you're in something that you do not like. Maybe the job you're in is putting so much pressure on you to hate it because it's time to move out of that, because it's time to evolve. So many of you need to hear these messages, right? You are at a time in your life where you are expanding into taking better care of you, understanding that your time is valuable. And if it's not being appreciated where you are, then either you change something about that in your current location, because some of you need to do that, or you start seeking the job that will. But make sure that you are doing it in a way that's going to support you. In other words, don't walk out and then be starving for 3 months while you're looking for something else. You know what we mean. Take care of yourselves. Do it smart. Be wise. Manifest, create with wisdom. You all know how to do this so magnificently. Do it, create it, be the recipient of something great, because you are worthy and deserving of this greatness. Remember that. Okay, what is the next question?
Well, just before I move to the next question, I'd just like to see how Tracie is going, and whether she needs to come back as time's progressing.
We see. Thank you. We want to, we can take one more question. Let's do one more.
Okay, this is from Jess Sixth Spice, and ask, are there any tips to help her young starseed daughter Eliza transition into bedtime better? She has a very hard time wanting to go to bed and sleep, regardless of how tired she is.
We know that we've had this question. We're not sure if it is the same person. We have had a question similar to this one. Oh no, Tracie's saying, no, that's not the same person. So this is happening to multiple children then, because we have had this question recently. And what we, as we look at this as the individual in the home, what we ask people to do when they have a lot of energy going on in the home and the child isn't sleeping, or you're even sleeping and tossing and turning, it's a good reminder to clear the home, bring in Saint Germain, bring in Archangel Michael, bring in those helpers to come in and clear the energy and the energy patterns of your home. So let's do that for everybody. That'll be a great way to close this up today. So if everybody would just imagine their homes in their mind's eye, and we're going to call in Archangel Michael and the Legion of Angels. We're calling in Saint Germain and his beautiful violet flame. We're calling in the Arcturian councils, Palladian councils, the Anshar, the Andromedans, and the Syrians, the Lyrans, all the beautiful mantis beings. We're calling in all of our councils and all those known and unknown to us in the highest and best good. We are surrounded with these beautiful energies. We ask to go through our homes and clear the energy imprints of the home, clear the negativity out of the home, the dense energies out of the home, clear and close portals that are opening in our homes, close those portals up. We ask that each and every member of our home, it goes through a beautiful etherical shower and that they are cleared of all energy they're willing and ready to release and let go of with their free will, also with their permission. We ask that that be cleared. Any animals in the home, same thing. With their permission, we ask that they be cleared. We do have some people with some little energies up in the attic. So we're clearing the attic of these energies, the imprints of energy in the cooking spaces, the kitchens, and the bathrooms. We're feeling the bathrooms as well, clearing the energies of the bathrooms, the kitchens, the bedroom spaces where people spend a lot of time and energy, clearing those energies, moving that out. We're going to clear the vehicles that people ride in, drive in, transport themselves in, bicycles, cars, and so on, clearing the energy of the vehicles of the home. Clearing the land that the home sits on. Closing again all portals, portals that are in earth, portals that are above. All portals in all directions, all time, all space, all dimensions, all realities, all versions of the home. And all the aspects of each and every one of you, we call it in. We see it as love and light and filled with beautiful love frequencies, beautiful softness, and beautiful energy moving through the home now, healing and sealing this home in this most beautiful blessing. As we call that in, we call in all the children sleeping beautifully, all the children who are experiencing all this energy fluxing. We ask that their energy be soft and gentle and cleared at night. Also, we want to whisper in their ears, you are not, there was a lifetime of separation. That's what we want to say in this case, the one that you were asking and referring to, a lifetime of separation, a lifetime of something happened, something in the cellular memory is surfacing that happened in another dimension or another lifetime that needs to be cleared. And so we're going to set the intention with the collective that works with your daughter to clear that energy, to clear the unsettled energy of the room, clear the energy in the land. And we're just going to clear that space. Whatever it is that she was picking up on, we say, you are safe now, you are safe now, you are safe now. You are, if this is a lifetime, we want to put it in the vibration. You are no longer in that lifetime. That is cleared now. It is hard to tell if it is her lifetime or a lifetime that happened in the spot that the home was built in. The two are kind of merging, and it's hard to see which one, if it's her lifetime and it happened in that location, or if it was just something that happened in that location. But the location is part of the equation. So we're clearing the energy, and we're clearing any lifetime surrounding this frequency that your daughter is experiencing. We call it in. And just remember to keep clearing the home, keep closing portals. Children are very sensitive to the energy of the portals. If you're meditating, close portals when you're done. If you're saying prayers or any of that, at the end of the day, just close portals. Off and on throughout the day, we all have these conversations with these higher elements, and we open up these little, it's like Swiss cheese, right? We're opening up these little portals all over, and then we're forgetting to close those, and then all that energy is still there, and the children are experiencing that. So we're just asking for a bubble of light around the bed to be protected against any of the energies that are stimulating and keeping her up at night. And with that, we will wrap it up there. Is there anything you want to add to any of this, Judy?
No, it's been an absolutely wonderful Q&A today with so much information for so many people. It's been wonderful. Thank you, Daniel.
Beautiful.
As always.
As always. Thank you, everyone who has come to join us. We thank you for letting us spend time with you, and we most certainly thank you for spending time with us. And we will bring Tracie back at this time. Thank you. All right, you guys, how cool is that? Lots of energy around the earth and the purge and the, yeah, just makes sense that we're going to the inner earth on the 1st.
Sure does, doesn't it? After all that.
That's a lot. There's a lot going on. So that's going to be really fun to look at, and some really good messages. I hope that resonated for a lot of you guys. as I'm looking at this, we have a decent sized audience. So thank you guys for being here for the live. And for those of you catching this later, thank you so much. Don't forget to click like on the video to help us spread it around. And so much appreciation for you, Judy. And everyone appreciate Judy today because she was the little tap on the shoulder to remind me, hey, we're going live at 3. So as always, I'm so grateful. You just have you're always just the most perfect friend. So thank you so much for putting that into the world. She's the perfect example of go out and find your joy and be in joy. And people
I'd say the reverse. I'd say that
we're gonna just go out and be happy and joyful, and then hopefully it's like it's contagious. You guys will all go do it too. Let's all do it. All right. What's really funny is I move my hands a lot, and I'll move my little mouse over these little videos that we make, and I'm always doing something with my hands. Judy, you're so poised, and my hands are on, and I'm talking, and I'm talking
just like this. In real life, I do this.
Do you? Thank you, because I'm like, man, I feel like my hands are in the air all the time. And yeah, I would have to sit on them. That or I'm moving them on the table. They're like always having me do like figure 8s and drawing things on the table while I'm talking. So if you guys see my shoulders moving, it's because they're having me draw symbols on the table. That's probably something I don't think I've ever brought up before. But yeah, I'm doing that a lot. They're always having me draw something. In fact, when I did the videos with Jason, he was like, what are you doing on the table? Because your microphone's picking that up. And I'm like, oh. I didn't realize that. And now I notice I find myself doing that again. So if you're hearing it feedback on the microphone, let me know. I'll sit on my hands if I have to keep the microphone from picking that up. But anyway, that's what's happening. A lot of thank yous going on in the chat room. Thank you guys for being here and sharing with us and holding this energy in the space with us. There's a lot going on, especially collectively. We could really feel that. So
that's wonderful. Yeah. It's such a high when we finish.
Exactly. And yes, Judy does have a wonky speaker for anybody that's wondering if it's coming through for you guys that way too. If she leans back, it's like it doesn't want to take in her voice at all. And then if she leans forward, it says
I am sitting as close as I can. It doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah. When all you can see is her eye. It was funny. There was times in that because we had this conversation before we got started, and I'm in there and your voice is really quiet, and then it comes through really loud, and I was like, oh, she leaned forward. It was almost like I could see you in my head going like this, going, oh, I need to lean forward. So hey, and I want to say our colors look pretty close today. You think?
Is yours silvery?
Mine is kind of a lavender color, but in the camera, it kind of looks the same.
Oh, no, mine's gray. Like my hair.
Mine's violet, like
your flame.
like Saint Germain. Dun-dun-dun. We had them in here the whole time. So, all right, you guys. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun. Thank you, everybody. I'll get the information to the workshops in the description box, along with Judy's information. Judy, you want to tell them about all the gifts and abilities you have so that people can start flocking to your website and signing up for your services?
Well, I'll say my website, which is mylifespurpose.com.au. I have a few packages on there, as well as being the level 3 QHHT practitioner and soul speak practitioner. So if you go to the website, you'll see what I can offer. And who knows, there may be something else coming up real soon.
Ooh, the mystery in that. Keep that on your favorites when you put that email or that website in there. Lock it into your favorites. So, and I already announced and spewed mine out everywhere. Judy's information will be down below. My information is going to be down below, and the workshops that are coming up for me are going to be links for that will be down below. So, all right. Love you guys. What are you going to do? click like. You're going to click like. And then maybe even make a comment, because all of that goes out into those algorithms and shares our video around. This goofiness, we want everyone to know about it, because we found our joy. All right, you guys, big love. I'm going to go ahead and put Judy out of her misery here.
As if.
Video. All right, bye everyone.
Bye, everyone.